What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Ben Thomas Show. Thanks for coming back. Today, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about the Star Trek booth over at Shanghai WonderCon. We're getting a chance to see some really cool stuff from EXO-6 that I got to talk about, so stick around. One thing, I get it. There's some irony here that I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. Don't worry about it. It's cool. We can talk about both. But guys, stick around. If you guys like the video, hit the like button for me. Smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show. And let's get into it.
I give you Ben Thomas. Showtime. Here we go.
Okay guys, welcome back. So I haven't had a good chance to look at these. I put the slides together really quickly in about 10 minutes, but I've been working all day, so I haven't had a chance to really dive into these bad boys. So I'm kind of excited. Now, I got these photos right from EXO-6's Facebook group. Thank you to EXO-6 for providing photos. That's awesome. Gives us a chance to take a look at them and kind of discuss what we can get excited about, right? So guys, obviously we're looking at the EXO-6 booth when you walk in over at the Shanghai WonderCon. And this is the first one that I wanted to talk about because I'm a big Next Generation fan, as you guys know, and I'm really excited to see another Picard. Now, this is the, I think, third Picard we've seen from EXO-6. We got the first Contact Picard, we got the newest Picard Season 3 Picard, and now, of course, this Next Generation version. And I do like this. Now, I will say, I mean, again, obviously these are prototypes. These aren't final products yet. I hope that they tighten up some of the clothing there for Picard. His jacket is just a little on the loose side. It was notoriously a little puffy on him as an actor as well. But I think if they tighten that up, this figure will be bang on, because to be honest, I think the head sculpt's really, really strong. This is an example for me of EXO-6 kind of bringing their A-team over to the sculpts. And yeah, I gotta say, I am happy with Picard here for sure. Now, Picard, of course, is posed up next to Geordi LaForge. And I saw today as well that EXO-6 is kind of expecting this pre-order for Geordi to go up anytime. In fact, I'm kind of crossing my fingers it's tomorrow. Today's Monday. Usually we see those pre-orders go up on the Tuesdays. So cross your fingers, it's Geordi LaForge tomorrow, because I'll be stoked about that. As a character, I always loved Geordi. I loved his drive in the engineering. I thought, you know, kind of akin to what we used to get from Scotty from the, you know, original series. Not quite to the same level of energy, but I felt like Geordi was that engineer that if a problem needed to get solved, he was the guy. Just like Scotty was. And I loved that about engineering and the engineering personnel from Star Trek over its lifespan. It just resonated with me. So Geordi is a badass. Now, the fact that he's blind has always been really cool. I liked in the film First Contact that he had the contact lenses that helped his corrective, you know, vision. I thought that was really neat, but I always liked his visor. I felt like that was kind of a cool, like, generational, like, gap in technology. And then going to the contacts feels definitely more futuristic. But I don't know, less Star Trek-y. I liked the visor, but I get it. Obviously, technology is going to improve over time. I got LASIK eye surgery a few years ago, and honestly, it's the best thing that I've ever done for myself. So I can appreciate going from feeling like I'm blind to being able to see clearly. But yeah, Geordi looks really good. The outfit looks really good. The tailoring, I think, here looks pretty good. It might be able to be tightened up again on Geordi's kind of midsection there, but not the end of the world. Now, it's also an opportunity that we're getting a chance to see Ro Laren here as well from Star Trek The Next Generation. Of course, we do get a chance to see her in Picard Season 3. Spoilers, I hope I didn't give too much away. Go check out Picard Season 3 if you haven't given it a chance. I didn't love Picard Season 1. And I didn't love Picard Season 2. In fact, I had a really hard time getting through it. But I will say Picard Season 3 made me laugh. It made me cry. It felt like the next season of Star Trek The Next Generation that we never got. And when you get a chance to see Ro Laren there, she plays a pretty, you know, interesting part of that story in Picard Season 3, and it's worthy of checking out. Now, if we're going to get the character, though, I'm happy that they're giving it to us from the Next Gen line first, because she did play an emotional impact in Picard in the Next Generation, and she's kind of an interesting character. She's got some unique character arcs, some of the best in my opinion. So if you haven't had a chance to refresh yourself on the character, go back to Next Generation and watch some of her key episodes. It's kind of cool. But I hope that with Ro Laren, as well as Geordi LaForge, we do see some additional accessories. One of my complaints with the B'Elanna Torres recently is that we're getting a lot of the same equipment. The phaser, the tricorder, the pad, and like, I get it. There's mass production. I get all that. But it would be nice to see some tailored accessories to these characters. You know, think about the Playmates days, right? I mean, with Playmates, you used to get different accessories for every character. I understand in 6 scale, there's a cost. I understand that that may be more challenging to do, but I do think if each character kind of came with one key accessory that's akin to their personality, I feel like it would make them more collectible, because you'd want those specialized accessories from Star Trek. But maybe that's just me. In terms of Rolaren, I think she looks pretty good. I think the face looks pretty good. The hair, I don't think is as good as some of the other figures we're seeing in the upcoming pictures. So hold on to that thought. But her hair is kind of reminding me of B'Elanna Torres in the sense of it's not bad, but it's not, I don't think it's perfect. Hopefully they tune that up with regards from prototype to production, but we shall see. Now, Data is my favorite character of Star Trek in general. He's always been my favorite. I love the character arc of Data. I love everything that comes with it. I love his storyline, even with his child. I love the storyline with B4, even though when they killed Data off and they replaced him with B4, I was devastated because I said, like, there's no way B4 will ever replace Data in my mind. And getting a chance to see Picard Season 3, again, without spoilers, there's some Data stuff in there that made me feel better. But I will say that if I was going to collect the definitive Data, in my opinion, even though I've got the First Contact Data, which I absolutely love, yeah, I pre-ordered this guy. I pre-ordered him with Spot. I think it's awesome. I love Spot. I love his character arc with Spot, especially in Star Trek The Next Generation Generations film. I love that little piece at the end. It always makes me tear up, and so I think Data's awesome. I think the outfit looks great. Again, the coloration of the outfits looks good. I still do kind of wonder whatever happened with the movie coloration set versus the television color set, or whatever they were calling that exactly, but it doesn't matter. I'm just happy we're getting more of the Next Generation. And Data is, of course, sitting at the con as well, which I think is also interesting. Now, go to EXO-6's Facebook page if you haven't already, and vote on whether or not you're okay with one key detail apparently being changed on this con in order to make it kind of multi-directional, it sounds like. If they keep it exactly the way it is right now, then there'll be another cost for a different version to go on the other side. It didn't explain it very well, but go in and vote if you have an opinion on that. I think if you can get the con and it's multi-directional, even if it's one less key aspect that's detailed differently, I think that that's okay. Because I think the cost should be a little bit lower to make it more accessible to have kind of a bridge setup. I think that would be really, really cool. So, yeah, let's see. No, I mean, Worf from Picard Season 3. Talking about Picard Season 3, I feel like the Picard Season 3 figures are, again, getting kind of the A-team here. These look pretty good. I like the outfit with Worf. I think that looks really good. I was surprised, obviously Michael Dorn, I think, is in his 70s now. Awesome actor. He's always played Worf incredibly well as well. And Worf has always been one of my favorite characters from Star Trek. He looked different in Picard Season 3. A little bit. And I feel like this sculpt actually captures that. I don't feel like it totally looks like Worf. But I didn't think it totally looked like Worf in Season 3 either. And again, maybe that's just an age thing. Maybe it's just the way the character was carrying himself a little bit differently. Obviously, age plays a factor on the way we carry ourselves. Not even just for the actor, but also for the character he's portraying. But all that to say, I do think that this looks really good. Just looks like Worf from the series. I don't think I'm going to collect the Picard Season 3 line, though. Not unless they give us, like, the whole cast. But even then, I'm like, as much as I loved Season 3, I still think I'd rather have these characters specifically from the Next Generation. So I'm going to hold out, but they do look really good. Again, Picard here, you can see the age in his face and the character sculpt. I think that looks really good. Even the body proportions that they chose for this particular figure, I think are actually really strong, because Picard, as a much older man now than we are familiar with him in as a Next Generation character, he's very old now and frail, and it shows in the way he carries himself as well. No slight against Sir Patrick Stewart. Love the man. I hope he lives forever, let's be honest. This wouldn't be the Picard I would buy. And where the heck is Vadic? They teased it, but I don't see it here on the table. Now, this is a kind of a blurry picture of Odo, unfortunately. So, I don't have much to say about him because I feel like I can't see the figure face or sculpt very clearly. I think it does look like the character, for sure. I would say that for me, I do think that the Deep Space Nine line has been pretty strong from EXO-6 so far. So I think this may not even be their fully cooked option yet. I think we might see some updates still from this because we've only really seen pretty blurry photos of this guy so far. But he's a key member in Deep Space Nine. So if Deep Space Nine is your jam, I'm stoked for you guys that you're getting this. And I do feel like the coloration of the outfit is on point. When I close my eyes and think of this character, this is what I see. So very cool. I also do wonder if we're going to get his kind of mutating form, like sculpt or anything like that. Will we get something that looks like when he's becoming his changeling self? It'll be curious to see, but yeah, very, very cool picture here. Now, Krug is one that I also have pre-ordered. I am very excited for him. And this picture is actually making me more excited, but also a little more cautious. So I'll tell you why. I think the outfit, phenomenal here. The texture material is phenomenal. I think the sculpt, the face, I think looks like Christopher Lloyd in the Klingon makeup. I think that's friggin' cool. The sculpted eyebrows throws me off a little bit because it's such close proximity to the hair. And the hair worries me just a little bit because it's rooted. It does look good. I will give it that. I can't say that it doesn't look good. It looks like Christopher Lloyd in Klingon makeup and hair and all of the things. You see all those strands popping off though? I worry that this is the type of hair, especially the material that they're using, that's going to fray and get really frizzy really quickly without some constant care to it. So just keep that in the back of your mind if you're picking this figure up. I've already got some beard balm that I'm ready to use just in the event I have to kind of tame his hair down a little bit over time. So funny, 6 scale collectors, us taming our figure hair, but you know what? It's the way she goes nowadays, and with the artisan competition from Hot Toys and InArt producing some craziness, yeah, I can see why EXO-6 was tempted to do some hair, so fair enough. Now, we of course have Captain Shaw, or Todd Stashwick himself, in figure format, and I think this is really cool. I hope you guys got a chance to see it. If you didn't, go over and subscribe to 1/6 Scale Mafia. He was actually able to interview Todd. During that interview, he was able to show Todd for the first time what his figure was going to look like, kind of in prototype form. And it was really, really cool to see the actual actor have an emotional connection to what he was seeing. Seeing yourself in figure format must be really cool. He's a collector himself, which makes him, honestly, in my book, that much cooler, let's be honest. So, I mean, go check out that video if you missed it over on 6 Scale Mafia's channel. But I think the figure here looks fantastic. I think they nailed it. I think the outfit looks good. I love the texture on the kind of the uniform. I really do think the sculpt is there. I love the coloration of the hair. This, in my opinion, is much better hair sculpting than what we've seen with B'Elanna. Like, it's, again, like, it's so weird the differences in levels of prototype that we're seeing, especially with things like paint job. Because, like, you can even see the silveriness in his hair. I think that that's fantastic. It gives it depth. It makes it look real. I like how his beard is different than his mustache. Like, bang on. Bang on, EXO-6. This was a figure I didn't even consider buying because I wasn't going to necessarily collect from Picard Season 3. This changes my mind. I'm totally getting a Captain Shaw in my collection. And Todd Stashwick, you're the man if you're watching this show. Let's look at Neelix here. Neelix, I think, looks fantastic. We've seen some prototype images of Neelix up till now already, including some close-up photos, so I won't go too much deeper into this, other than the fact that I'm happy that Voyager line is coming to an end. They've actually completed the majority of the bridge crew, and for that, I am impressed, because I'm ready for Next Generation, and it looks like we're getting some of those, so keep them coming, But Mr. Neelix here, great looking figure. I do kind of wish they'd given us the second head sculpt with a different mouth expression, but I will say Neelix looks like this quite often, so if this is the only one we get, I can't be that mad. I do think it's still one of the strongest of the Voyager line so far. Now, I also think this is one of the stronger figures we've seen, Captain Christopher Pike from Strange New Worlds. Now, I finally started watching Strange New Worlds. I know I'm late to the game on that one, guys. I have liked Season 1 quite a bit so far. I haven't got to Season 2 yet, so we'll see how it kind of goes. I have liked Christopher Pike in the show. I like the actor that plays him. I do think, again, this is a good example of how good sculpted hair can look, especially with regards to the paint. You can see the silveriness, you can see the browns. It looks good, it looks real, and the face looks just like the actor. So I think that's a win, honestly, I gotta say, guys. Now, we also are getting a chance to see Saavik here in, of course, her regular one jacket outfit. And I think for the most part, from my past EXO-6 video, it sounds like for the most part, most people are going to go with the more expensive version because you get both looks. I get that. I think that that does make sense. I've become more warm to the price after talking to some of the community, but I still do wish that the Kobayashi Maru version was cheaper, since it is so stripped down in comparison to this upgraded version. That I'll die on the sword for, but I do think it looks really good. I think the likeness to Kirstie Alley here is excellent. I also think the Spock next to her looks really good. And again, in that Kobayashi Maru suit version, I'd say, like, I mean, it's not really, that's still just kind of the bridge uniform, but that's probably what they'll call it. So you kind of have something to compare it to if you're getting the Saavik as well. I think Saavik looks pretty good. Her hair, I still have a little bit of complaint with, but I still think it looks better than Bellona's. So again, odd differences in qualities between the lines of the Star Trek EXO-6 figures. But yeah, she looks really, really good. And honestly, the jacket's supposed to look a little bit bigger on her on this one. So I actually think that the tailoring is like perfect. Perfect. You guys crushed it on this one. Super happy about that. Now, Spock here, of course, from Strange New Worlds as well. I should have put him with the other slide. Sorry about that, guys. You know what? I think this looks just like the actor. As much as I'm enjoying Star Trek Strange New Worlds, this isn't Spock to me. I'm sorry if that takes heat from the community. I like Leonard Nimoy as Spock. I think just portrays the way I envision Spock more than this. This guy feels like his human side takes over way more than his Vulcan side. And he displays so much more emotion as young Spock in this show than we ever got a chance to see as a younger Spock in the original series or any of the films. It just doesn't feel like Spock. It feels like a romanticized version of Spock, and that drives me a little bit nuts. That all to say, though, I have enjoyed season 1. You know what, I'm thinking of it as kind of an alternate universe version of these characters, and in that sense, I can have fun with it, and I still like having familiar names. I still think this actor is doing a good job with the script he has. I honestly think he's giving it his best effort, despite me not loving the Spock character himself as much as the original, let's be honest. Now, of course, we also have Christine Chapel here, played by the actress Jess Bush. She's been pretty good in the show so far. I have liked her. Not a figure I would collect. I don't think I'm going to get any of the Strange New Worlds figures, so I think for the most part I'll skip on all of them. But you know what? If you are loving Strange New Worlds, or maybe Strange New Worlds is your introduction to Star Trek, it's meant for new audiences as well. Maybe this is your new Star Trek cast. Maybe these are the figures you're actually waiting for most. And I think it would be cool to hear from those people in the comments if you're watching. And then lastly, we're getting a chance to see the Lower Decks characters here. We did a review on the channel here not very long ago, a couple weeks ago, with regards to these figures. So if you want my thoughts, more of a deep dive of these, head to that video and check it out. For the most part here, I think this looks exactly how it was solicited, and they look cool. They're being helped by Mondo Toys on this, it sounds like, for distribution. I think that's pretty neat. And it really has that Rick and Morty vibe to them, which I dig. I can see why that's the partnership that's there. So, you know what? I think these look really good. I'm not going to buy these either, to be honest. They just don't fit my collection. But they're out there for somebody, and they look just like the show, which I will also say, if you've been holding off on Lower Decks, give it a chance. It's not as deep as people told me it was going to be, or at least I haven't felt like it's as deep. But there's so many Easter eggs, and it's a really fun watch, especially if you just have it on in the background while you're making dinner, or hanging with kids, or doing whatever it is that you guys do. But that's all the slides I have for you guys today. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on Shanghai WonderCon Star Trek booth? Are you happy with what you're seeing? Which figures are you guys going to be definitely picking up from the ones that we've seen here? I gotta say, for me, it's obviously Data, like I mentioned, Krug for sure. You know, honestly, I think that those are my main two. But I could be converted on some of the other ones, because I think that they all look really, really good. I do kind of want Captain Shaw as well after seeing the figure. I think that one's pretty nice. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Otherwise, if you guys like the video, hit the like button for me. If you're new to the Ben Thomas Show and the Star Trek talks that we have, definitely hit the subscribe button. Of course, always live long and prosper, and I will catch you guys on the next Star Trek video. Thanks for watching, everybody.